time, organic collection, and I just don't want to feel like, you know, if we don't go to weekly service, that we're not pushing the needle a little bit. A lot.
Could I ask staff, Tyler and Leanne, if we, if the weekly doesn't pass and we go with bi-weekly and we want to have that planning, but, you know, we want to start kind of a campaign around education and kind of getting people ready for maybe that shift to weekly in 5 years, or setting those goals, how you know, staff capacity wise, do we have a way of doing that? Would we need extra marketing dollars? Would we, you know, I would dollars. You know what I mean? To add another kind of effort.
You know, I think on a very basic level, there are things that we could step up and do, but to really, to use that phrase, move the needle, the way I sense you are looking at us trying to do, you know, I think we will need some outside assistance on that.
Which is still much lower than, you know, committing to that 100,000.
Is moving the needle going from 32%
Right, we
to
haven't
64%?
We haven't defined that, and also we are 50% rental units, so those are not part of our.
Well, that been and we're
Right.
duplexes.
Yeah, duplexes
Businesses don't
requires,
recycle.
but apartments
Requires
have private
recycle.
service.
We have a percentage that's apartment buildings, so it's not half.
And businesses, they're not required to recycle.
And that's not a reason not to do that. It's, I mean, we just have a lot of.
They are
potential.
required to recycle, but we don't provide that service. But if we get a complaint that a business is not recycling, under state statutes, it's our responsibility to rectify that.
Oh, okay.
Trustee McKay, to also answer your question, if it does fail, we can always, you know, if the board decides to get like the conservation committee or one of the committees to maybe identify a certain plan that you want to ask them to make a recommendation on, or in any of the upcoming, you know, visioning processes or whatnot that are more farther down the road. I mean, those are some things too that we can orchestrate.
Haven't they done that though? Haven't they recommended the weekly? Have you seen the
That's part of, well,
presentations?
as far as the vision plan, that's part of that, but if you specifically as a board want to ask conservation committee, you know, make particular recommendations on, you know, maybe like a 5-year plan and what we can do education-wise, to do that, that could certainly be a recommendation that the board can do, and we can have the conservation committee start with.
Right, so that plan could be called Race to Weekly instead of Race to Zero. It's our version of what we do. And then we can have Race to whatever, but, and it takes us 5 years to race in this. It's all the stop signs.
Or 2 years, we don't know.
Mr. President, I'd like to call a question, please.
I need to make one last comment, because we talk about change and how difficult it can be, but we're talking about the bigger change going from your bins to a cart for people versus, oh, I can take my recycling out every week. I mean, that's not, you're not required to. So it's an option, not necessarily a mandate. So again, if we want to weigh in, as part of your decision making, please realize that it's not a burden to allow additional pickup for you.
People aren't going to be required to take
No.
an empty cart down
No.
every other week.
No, but you are still
But you are
paying for
paying, they're paying for,
That's right.
they don't have to bring it down, but they're paying for it regardless.
Well, they may be losing services as a
Absolutely.
to
I
pay
mean,
for it.
their
Like,
alleys
they're
are
not
getting
paying,
repaired.
we can't levy them, I mean, we're not gonna levy 1% just to pay for this.
Mike?
So how much are we paying for the roll-offs at the DPW yard? 'Cause some of that might be diverted if we go to weekly.
Well, but that's a flat fee. So whether there's 2 items in there or they
Oh,
roll those
right.
things
They
up
just pick
12
them up
times
on
a
a-
month, it's the same cost.
Oh, so we don't save anything there. So that's gonna be, well, you haul, people have a lot, they haul at the DPW.
No, they do.
That's a lot.
Those are used very heavily.
What is it, Leanne? I'm sorry. I had a question in my notes, so I didn't understand what roll-off meant.
They're large capacity, like dumpsters,
Okay.
that people can
Rent?
No, they're permanently stationed at our yard, and they're open, anytime we're open, they're available for people to put disposable recycling.
You can drive your car right up there and take the stuff
Right, they do
and
that
throw
for
it in.
all occasions.
ask a question, Leanne? Do we still chip the Christmas trees?
Yes.
Okay, so originally when the Conservation Committee, when we had that program, when we instituted that program 9 years ago, you had to take your tree to the DPW on, I think it was one day or the first year, and then perhaps it was a couple of days you could do it, and now I understand that you pick up the trees, right,
We do.
for chipping. So that's maybe, I don't know if the increase is people who actually put their tree out and get it chipped versus if they would have had to take it down to the DPW has gone up, and then probably substantially, my guess would be, but
Absolutely, but I don't know that most people realize, they're just putting it out. They don't, it's going away. They don't care.
right, but the point is that they're getting chipped now.
Yes.
So they might not realize that they're helping, but
And we're paying for it, so we could do that with cardwood. Because I would get rid of a lot of cardwood.
Once a year versus,
once a year.
the tree is only once a year.
Oh, once you're just saying, I mean, that's the other option. I know,
No, but I know what
haven't
you're
looked
saying.
at.
I know what
You
you're
know what I'm
saying.
saying, is I think your service might increase or something.
Probably 50% of your cardboard is at Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it a motion to close discussion requires a majority vote of the board? I'm just.
I don't-
Oh, sorry.
I'm not asking to close the discussion, I'm just calling the question.
Yeah, that's not, is that a motion? That's not a motion, that's a second.
No.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, more questions. Where, I guess one question, where do we think we're gonna get the 100,000? I mean, what do we have in our budget plan? Where are we gonna pay for the 100,000? I mean, what do we?
That's just one consideration, it's not the overriding consideration, but he's asking a question.
It's a huge logistic. One fewer truck for the waste disposal. I'm just kidding.
No.
One less garbage.
We're trying to keep within 1.5% increase.
This is a whole 1%
It's a
right here.
whole 1%, we're starting with
What
the
I-
whole.
People are mad about that.
And he just increased debt service for alleys, you know, because we're borrowing a little more.
No, because we have a policy to keep that stabilized at 5% as part of the budget.
Yeah.
So we don't,
What was
the concern around debt service spiking is, we have,
This is an operation.
Exactly.
One would want to use.
right, it's different, so it's operational budget, it's not capital, it's not, we can't use reserves.
Mark,
Yes.
From staff's perspective, this is a service level change, and it was integrated into the budget. The typical metric we use is for every $5,000 of increased tax levy for provided services is a $1 impact to a $300,000 home. Whether you want to use $80,000 or $100,000 number, the anticipation would be that that's a tax levy increase due to a service level change. Would be staff's initial thought to trade that for some other service the board is currently authorized to provide.
So what does that mean? So you would say you're recommending raising the levy rather than trading off? I'm sorry, my.
Staff would, this would be an increased budgeted service,
Okay.
and we would integrate it into the budget. We wouldn't look to necessarily trade. No, at the board's discretion, come budget time, if the board wants to engage in that challenge, will that certainly.
and this could come into levy limit walls too, right?
I don't believe levy limits will be an issue.
Pardon?
Levy limits will not be an issue. Expenditure restraint might be a little more challenging, but I'm pretty sure we can work that
Right,
out.
because we only have like 7,000 pushing in our expenditure restraints.
Well, that's budget to budget, and since we didn't budget that amount, we lost it.
100,000 would be on the average home.
100,000 would be like $17 a year.
$300,000 home.
Which is the average insurance.
Well, that's typically what we use.
The other final word.
Ah, your own question.
It's a big issue.
I called the question.
Final. That's what I think, there's something else. we only get to hit once, excuse me, we only get the game once. As we talk about, let's get the big game now and go to carts weekly and see how we do that and if it makes sense to increase.
What are you recommending here? I'm having trouble saying.
I think you're just trying to say, let's go weekly.
Yes.
Vote yes.
No, what I'm,
I'm all for increasing recycling and whatever we can do. And giving people extra cards, it's just paying $100,000 to provide services. I don't know what percentage of the households that may only have this much. So we're paying for a service for a number of households that we don't need to be paying for. And is there other things we could do with $100,000 for environmental stuff?
And I don't want to lose sight that we just implemented organic collection. We spent a little bit of money on that. The pilot.
yes,
And we may decide to go into a full program after that.
I'm hoping.
I hope so, and I hope it's successful. And we did put the parts in, and we're just going to do this. So I just don't want to lose sight that we are moving the needle. We're not taking a step backwards here.
Not going weekly is not a loss.
Okay.
We just have, this is our one time for 5 years to make a big step, make a bold statement. And from my perspective, it's not 100, it's 80,000 and getting smaller as we look at what the organics does to the volume in our solid waste stream and what, education and outreach and saying everyone collectively as we take more out of our garbage cart and put it in our recycling cart, that delta
Well, we need money to educate and outreach, like what Leanne just said. So now it's 100,000 and then we need to maybe hire a consultant or something.
So we won't spend 100,000 on the weekly, we'll spend it on.
No, I don't think I hope that education would be $100,000. Oh my God. That's like 3 staff people.
So the carts are 75,000, the part of this and that's coming out of,
Capital reserve.
then we have capital reserves left to, that's more of our
budgeted.
reserve. So that's an
Was it
additional
budgeted?
cost we're gonna have.
Was it budgeted? Can you just
Well,
clarify?
it's not budgeted, but
Or
it's been allowed for, yeah.
So what's in that capital reserve? What is in there right now? I know last time we had a.
Right now, or what do I expect it to have been on December 31st?
Either or, just give me the number that.
I think it's somewhere around $130,000 December 31st, and then we'll need 70 of that, or 75 for carts, we'll need another 10 for,
And you were recommending against using capital reserves because we were pretty low.
like, yeah, well, that's why we're low. And this is not unforeseen. So after those two unplanned uses, we'll be down to about 40,000, I think, in capital reserves for the remainder of 2017.
And what was the other 10 for? I didn't catch
Oh, that was the organic collection.
All communities are good. This waste, and I would imagine there's going to be pressure on the waste haulers and recycling companies to adjust as people's consumption goes up. They want to have to serve the communities. If we need more recycling, I would imagine we could approach them and say, can we extend our contract for 5 years or something, and you will go by weekly. So, I mean, I would imagine that there's a little flexibility if you're willing to pay.
what are you saying there? What are you saying?
Rather than waiting 5 years.
So that
With
5 years.
respect to the motion in the second, what are you saying?
I'm just saying that there may be, I'm hearing there may be more, if you have a 5-year contract, but if there's a need, and you can open negotiation, you can ask them if you can adjust your contract, and if you're, if you gotta pay more. If we're paying $100,000, if we're gonna pay $100,000 for weekly pickup, and if we delay it for a little while, we can go back and say, we'll give you 125, you can negotiate, they're providing a service.
Or lengthen the contract.
Right.
For the same price.
But I think that was part of the issue is if we go with weekly, it would be John's disposal
Correct.
contract, and if we go with bi-weekly, it's waste management has the
Right,
better.
sure.
And waste management, if we tried to negotiate weekly, that bid was so much higher. Is that
A
what you're
different
saying?
metric, yeah.
Different.
Yeah, okay.
So it's sort of like, it's not like we can choose each company who would
No, I
let us,
understood,
you know,
right.
one is,
Right,
as far as lowest bid.
yeah.
So just a question though, because we do have the contractor here, if you went with bi-weekly and for 5 years, and then after year 2, you wanted to go to weekly, because there was greater demand, could you, rather than having a 10-year contract, could you propose to say, we'll give you a 15-year contract if you let us have the same rate? I mean, I've done that before in contract negotiations. I don't know if you, and I probably would be open to it.
Oh, I'm not gonna speak for Brian. Yeah, we've done that plenty of times, whether we're at the beginning, near the end of a contract, if it's a 5-year, 10-year contract. It just depends on what the municipality would like. So we've changed services, we've added addendum